I'm gonna assume you clicked on this video because you wanna learn how to use Kazana and hit clips like these. Well, yeah, you've came to the right place because I'm gonna show you how to use Kazana, when to use Kazana, and yeah, just overall tips with Kazana. Chapter 1, the super jump. There are many different types of ways to use Kazana's super jump. The first way we're gonna be looking at is the pre-jump. What it is basically just jumping before your teammate sets the ball. You can mess up your opponent's timings, as you can either instantly spike it after your teammate sets, or just wait a bit, because Kazana has a very high jump. It takes a while for him to go back down. Next up, we have the direction switch with super jump. I mean, as the name suggests, it's just looking one way and then quickly flicking or shift locking the other way. It can send your opponents, but if you use it too much, it gets repetitive and they can read you easily, so you gotta switch it up a bit. You can switch it up by quickly spamming W, A, S, and D. So look, to the other person's point of view, it's gonna look like this. They won't know which direction you're gonna spike it. What you just saw there was something called a mini jump, and you'll be seeing that later in the video in another chapter. This next tech is probably one of my favorites because it's just so satisfying to hit. When your teammate sets to you, you just glide into the set instead of gliding the same way. It's useful because it's fast, so your opponents probably won't expect it coming, other than if you just stood there and waited for the set, like pre-jumping or something. It's way less predictable. One final tip with super jump is to delay your spikes. Kazana's jump is very high, so you can take advantage of this, unlike other characters like Sanu, or like other secrets with normal jump. And make sure when you're delaying your spikes, always S tilt, or like, because it's gonna be too low most of the time. Chapter 2, the mini jump. What it is basically just tapping your jump button when you have super jump turned on. You just do a very small jump. It's useful when the ball is like very low and you forgot to charge up your jump, or if you just miss your first spike, then you can just instantly jump and do a second one. And most people will not suspect this, so yeah. Next up, we have tilting. This is Kazana's W tilt. I don't normally use like any character's W tilt because like, look, sometimes it just hits the net. A lot of the time it just hits the net, so I just refrain from using it. And also, Kazana's S tilt, which is this, has been buffed, so 90% of the time it goes in from any distance whatsoever. But there are some instances where you don't want to use the S tilt, like if you're right here, obviously it's gonna go out, so you can use the W tilt. So like 90% of the time you should be using S tilt, unless you're like facing basically outside the court. I mean, like near these spots, and you're like right here, it's gonna go out. You could lower the power and it would be in, but like at that point just W tilt. Or no. My final tip is on serves. When you're serving, I mean, you can use super jump, but I prefer using the normal jump, normal version. You can use super jump to like delay your serves like this, and then it'll like ruin the opponent's tempo. But I just prefer serving normally. And if you're wondering, you can change your keybinds here in the settings thingy majiggy. You just scroll down, event mode it. Special, you just set it. I have mine on T. These are my binds so far right now. Yeah, I use left click set.